to my show. I am so excited to be here once again. I am Cassidy the Cardslinger, and tonight is officially my second solo show. So thank you guys for sticking it out here with me tonight. There's been an incredible lineup of readers and psychics, so I hope you guys had a chance to catch some of those shows. But if not, I'm going to entertain you for the next hour. So thanks for joining me. If this is your first time here, I said my name's Cassidy the Cardslinger. I am a professional tarot card, oracle card, Lenormand playing card. I am a professional reader of all levels of cards, hence the name. So I really love what I do. I'm very passionate about helping people get the answers that they're looking for to make better decisions, to be a little more informed in their lives, to, provide advice or guidance or whatever people are looking for to just help us get through the next day. So how this works, in case this is your first night here, what I want you to do is go ahead and type in your question, say hello, and type in your specific question into the chat. I'm not going to cover anything legal, medical, like physical health related or mediumship questions. I'm not a medium. So if you have a mediumship question, you can come back tomorrow night. But the other ones that we're not going to cover on the show. How it works is I'm going to go through in order, and I'm going to do 2-minute free readings. If you would like a bit longer reading because your questions may be a little bit more in depth or you're looking for a bit more information, there's going to be a donation link floating around here in the chat. You can donate for a 3-minute reading, a 5-minute reading, mini reading, or a mega reading, and mini and mega are not timed. And donations hop right to the front of the line. So if you are really interested in having your question answered and like a little more time and put a big old smile on my face, go ahead and hit the donation and we'll jump you right to the top. So hi, everybody who's popping in here saying hello. Just makes my day. Hi. What else do I want to say? I think that's maybe it. We are streaming also on over 150 platforms, guys. So how it works is we've got this really great back-end software, and we are keeping track of the questions as they're coming in. So if where you're at, if you're thinking, is my question getting skipped or how come you haven't got to me yet? We are keeping track. We've got the best team in the world going on in the back taking care of that. So just keep that in mind when you ask your question. Apart from that, depending on where you're listening, if you hop over to our YouTube channel and search for My Psychic Connection, that's where you can, type in your questions and see me and see my cards. Okay, so how's everybody doing with all of that said and done? December 15th. That is all the way bananas. I don't know what happened to this year, let alone, this month, but it's a really busy time for everybody. And I just hope that everyone's getting through, finding the joy in each day and, whatever we need to get by. So anywho, I think that's all I have to say to get started. I'm ready to hop in. Do we have my first question, please? Kelly, hi Kelly, and big shout out to everybody who's coming back, because there's some names popping up who hop in here a lot. So we love our regular listeners. So thank you guys for coming in. Kelly, okay, cards are flying out for Kelly. Kelly says, hi, hello Cassidy. When will I find a good, caring, loving man to share my life? Ooh, that's an excellent question. Let's take a look at that. The deck I've got here, it's my Christmas themed Rider-Waite deck. So I'm going to be slinging this one on the table tonight. So let's see what they have to say about when Kelly will find a good, caring, loving man to share her life with. Message for wonderful Kelly. All right. Okay, Kelly. Well, the first thing that I'm seeing here is, and I don't know if there is an underlying sense of, I want to say you haven't seen the best that love has to offer yet, and if you're holding on to anything surrounding, I'm not willing to enjoy, or I'm not willing to entertain a repeat of anything that I've had previously. I see that. I kind of see, as we're moving forward, I just want to say I don't feel the need to say to you, watch out for the red flags or not go back to past people, or like, I just feel like you've got a really good understanding of kind of what you want, and more importantly, perhaps what you don't want. When I'm looking into when someone will come in, it's a tricky thing to get a timeline. She says, right on, LOL. It's a tricky thing to get a timeline, but I'm genuinely asking for over the next year, and I am getting lots of yeses. And if I'm going to say a little more specifically, I'd say on the order of, 6 to 8 months kind of a time frame. And how I see that happening, it's interesting. I don't think it's a passive exercise, or a sense where it's like it's not like a happenstance meeting, or where someone just sort of shows up. But I feel like there's a role that you're going to end up playing in order to find this person. So I don't know if you're interested in looking at like an online dating, or putting yourself out there in some. I just see like your efforts will be rewarded, my darling. So thank you very much for your question. I really appreciate it. And I hope that was helpful. That's an interesting little nugget of advice, because we do often see things like, people kind of falling back into the patterns that they were in before, or missing the warning signs early on. It's wonderful and refreshing to see that, that's not going to be the case in certain circumstances, because apologize if that's loud, shuffling my cards down here. But anyway, it's just at any point in our life, everything we go through, and I'm not a person that believes that everything happens for a reason. We can get into that another time. But everything we go through can at least show us something, teach us something, and we can learn from the experiences that we have. And if that experience was not agreeable to you previously, what is that? The definition of crazy, when, you do the same thing over and over again and you expect a different result. Kelly says, good timeline. Thank you, Cassidy. I will not repeat that again. No, you won't. I don't see that. And I'd love to hear that as well. So, I mean, just everything in our lives, right, guys, as we're moving forward, always evaluating our past experiences and being very discerning with what we're willing to bring in, especially, in a love context, in a work context, anywhere, anything. Use what we know, folks. All right, I am ready for my next question, please, to the one that's... donation of the night. We've got a 3-minute reading. Oh my goodness. See, I told you. Look at the big old smile that you put on my face. Thank you so very much. I believe this healthy, balanced mom. Hell yeah. I love the name of that. Thank you so much for your donation. It really, really helps us here at My Psychic Connection to keep things going, and, to share the smiles, to share the Christmas joy. So do we have healthy, balanced mom's wonderful question that I can dive into over the next 3 minutes? I'm going to get shuffling my cards real good here. I like the cards that are popping out for you already, my dear. Okay, while they are working on that, I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. Throw some emojis and fun things going on in the comment section, because I can see everything, guys, like everything that's coming on by. Karina, Ari, Cody, everybody who's putting in these wonderful emojis, these hearts, these, the little things. Thank you, everybody, for just blowing up our little chat with these wonderful emojis. Katie, Cassandra, yay. All right. So we're looking for healthy, balanced mom's question. If you are listening to me, my dear, and you're the one who's donated, please go ahead and give us your question. All right. While we are working on that, I'm just seeing a couple things popping up here. Things in the realm of pregnancy that does fall in health-related reading, so I'm not going to be able to read on that. It's also, in a show sense, but in my personal practice, I don't really dabble in the liminal spaces of life per se, in the sense of doing, birth predictions, death predictions, things like that. There are just, the tarot can do it, but, we all have our own boundaries as a professional reader as to what we're willing to do. So, healthy, balanced mom, where are you, girl? Coming in here with this beautiful donation to get our night up and popping. I hope we can find your question, my dear. My cards are getting nice and warm for you. If we can't find your question, I might go ahead and slip someone else in, because I don't want to, just be sitting here rambling. But you are at the absolute front of the line. So if you are the one who did this donation, the healthy, balanced mom, please pop your question in. Did we find her? Kristen, is this you? Yeah? Okay. I believe that we've got it. Yes, she says, okay. Kristen says, yes, that's me. So thank you so much, Kristen, for your donation. Let's dive in. Okay, so she says, tell me about Kevin, Gary, and Jimmy. Okay, she says, yes, it's me. Can you give me a little bit of context here, my darling? Are they love interests? Is this family? Is this career related? It really does matter, the way that my cards kind of present the information to me. Is I just kind of want to know what your perspective is for how you're wanting me to go about it. And can you confirm if Kevin and Gary are two different people or if it's one person named Kevin Gary? So what I'm going to go ahead and do while you're typing in a little more context for me, I'm going to just lay some cards to kind of get a high level sense of about each of these people. Okay, she said accident, lost 3 friends. Okay, so are these 3 friends? I would imagine they're passed on. So I'm not a medium, but I'm absolutely happy to use my cards to help kind of get some information from these 3. So we have from Kevin, Gary, and Jimmy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with, I do believe, Jimmy. Jimmy's holding, I get a sense that there's a sense of guilt, regret, fear going on with him. And I feel like there is a romantic connection or some very close connection for him that he was not able to, it is often the case when we pass away in an accident or something of that nature. But it really looks like for him, he's wanting to reach out to one particular person, individual, and offer something to the tune of a story of I have a sinking feeling in my heart. There's guilt here from him that I'm really seeing on his end. And it's very much so tied to someone in particular. It can also be kind of along the lines of these other 2 people, but to me, it's the sense that it's someone that was left behind. Okay, we've got some more questions popping in. Sorry. And then for Gary, Gary seems, the energy I get from Gary is really quite energetic, quite hardworking. And I feel like what he had going on in life is really still continuing with where he's at. Something surrounding his energy and his spirit is kind of in a mediating stage where I think that he's trying to mend something between 2 people, trying to, comfort something. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he's like trying to reach out or trying to communicate with someone on this plane, because to me, it seems like he had some unfinished business, but it's almost like this transition didn't change much for him. And then for the other gentleman here, let me just pull up, I apologize, his name. The first gentleman, I did lay my cards in the right order, Kevin. There, like, honestly, there's a bit of, I want to say surrounding him, like there's a sadness, a deeper sense of loss and a feeling that things just really were not completed for him. So that's what I'm really getting there on those 3. And I do hope that that was helpful. So thank you for your question. And again, folks, I am not a medium. So if you would like, my Psychic Connection has got lots of mediums. They will be on again. We've got a show happening tomorrow evening, starting at, I believe it's 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness, I apologize. Yes, 8 o'clock, 8 till 10. And we have got mediums that are going to be there for you. So if you have a mediumship question, they are able to tune in very well. So I highly recommend popping back to the show for them. All right, do we have our next question, please? Celtic Dragon. Hi, Celtic Dragon. Lovely to see you. Welcome back. Celtic Dragon asks, hey, Cassidy, what tips can you give me to help improve reading tarot cards, and should I do oracle cards more? Yes, I love this question. I love this question a lot. All right, so let's see what guidance comes through for helping Celtic Dragon improve reading tarot cards, and see what it says. Should he explore oracle cards more? Guidance for his tarot reading. Okay, and then should he explore oracle cards? I'll start with the oracle cards thing. To me, at the moment, oracle cards feel distracty. And I'm not all of them. all of them. I'm going to say don't really worry about oracle cards. He says, I just got a new oracle deck as well. How about that one? Okay, well, in that sense, to be honest, that deck seems to be not a bad fit to kind of dabble in this world and to work with. But I think as an overall sense, spending your time working with oracle decks, I'm going to keep that one short. It feels a bit distracting, like that's not going to be your best place to connect, but that deck I think is worth your time. In terms of looking at what you need for advice for working with tarot, this is an interesting message. I kind of see like you need to practice in a very different realm or a different setting. I don't know if you can physically go somewhere else with your cards. You don't, it seems almost kind of solitary here. You don't necessarily have to be reading for other people, but have you tried working with your cards in a loud environment, in a busy environment, where there is stress in the air, where there's, you know, maybe it's dark, it's harder to see? This is very weird. I don't know what to do with this information other than to just share with you exactly what I'm seeing. It seems to me like you could really benefit from genuinely working with these tools in a different environment that's different from where you're currently cultivating this practice, if that makes any sense. It's kind of the opposite from staying at home on your desk where you're comfortable working with the cards. It could be in a sense like out in nature or even just somewhere in public. He says, no, I have not, lol. Seriously, give that one a try though. Because to me, I'm not getting a sense to tell you, you know, work harder or study or pick up a book. To me, it's like we need to work with this foundation in different physical locations and see what happens to your abilities when you do that. Okay? I don't know. It's very interesting. And I hope that that helps. And I hope that there's something in there that you can give a try. Because have I had experience? I have. Oh, that's interesting. I absolutely have. It does make a difference. And I don't know, you know, if interesting, because this is where it's kind of something different, where we're looking at the divination, divinatory arts, or the world of working with our spiritual gifts and with our tools. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes just connecting in a different place. I've definitely had experiences where things, I think if I was in a different environment, wouldn't have been the same. And also something where it came through, like, we're a louder environment. He says, sounds good. I can't wait to start working with y'all, but I need better signal first. Excellent. Yes. So give that a try, you know, because then also if we're working in somewhere that's loud, we have to double down on our focus, which if you're really trying to focus on something, you know, if you're studying, maybe that's not the best, right? Like where they, you know, people have their opinions on studying in loud coffee shops and such thing, like how much work are we actually getting done? However, I will say it pulls on a different faculty from you. I don't know what more to say other than that, but it's kind of interesting. So give that a go. And I do really hope that that works for you. So thank you so much for your question. Do we have our next question, please? Katie. Hi, Katie. Katie is so wonderful. Katie asks, hello, lovely. Love your energies. Oh, I love your energy too. She says, my question is, what do you see in regards to my daughter getting an EHCP, and this paperwork? Do you know when I'm going to hear back? Thank you for your beautiful energy. Okay, so what do you see in regards to my daughter getting, I don't know what an EHCP is, so I apologize. If you want to let me know what that is, it might not be relevant, but I'll see what I see in terms of her getting it, and then kind of take a closer look at that timeline for when we're going to hear back. So what do we see for Katie's daughter getting the EHCP? And how do we see for a timeline? For getting an EHCP. She says, help with her needs, lovely, at school. Thank you so much. Okay. And I don't know if waiting on this is something that's genuinely preventing something else from happening. To me, it seems like this is a major hurdle or a block for something else to happen. So let me see if I can tap into a timeline. Okay. To me, it's coming across really quite, and this is going to sound weird, but quite according to plan. The cards I have, so the first one I have, she says, yes, it is lovely. I've got the Magician card, and the second card I have here is the 9 of Pentacles in upright position. And to me, this looks really quite quite winter break. She says, I need it all to follow. I wouldn't be, let me see, before kind of early January. I would say before early January. Like, it seems fairly imminent, but I also feel like it's not communicated very well up until the point it happens. It seems like I'm in the dark and all of a sudden it shows up. Like, you're not getting the update phone calls. You don't have a tracking information. She says, I feel that too. Yeah, the energy, like the Ace of Wands here, to me, it's showing really quite quick. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens like next 3 weeks tops, kind of a deal, like really, really quite soon. Yeah, because I've got the cards here as well. I have the Hangman, and then I have Death reversed, as well as the Four of Swords reversed. So to me, it's just, that's kind of really tapping into that it's stopping something else from really being able to happen, or to, you know, it's a preventatory thing. And it's like, we really got to get this thing done before the next. Sorry, I just want to show you this last card. I got this side, and it literally says like what does it say? Happy New Year's on it. How's that for a timeline? So I hope that helps, my dear, and I really wish you guys all the best. It is, man, it's a pain when we can't, do much to help something along. She says, yes, definitely. I've had to put a lot in here. I felt as if no one is understanding, but I do have a few others that are understanding now. Okay, excellent. I'm really glad to hear that. There's that quote, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's something to the effect of, when we're looking at our problems, can we do something about it? If we can, then it's not a problem because we can do something about it. And, if we can't do something about it, she says, thank you so much. Appreciate your beautiful energies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Yeah. And then if back to the problem, if it's not a problem, or sorry, if there's not something we can do about it, then it's also not a problem. I don't know. I'm not trying to minimize people's problems, but I find a lot within myself. She says, I just love you. I just love you too. I find a lot within myself, the wording that I use surrounding problems. Like, within the last couple of weeks, I've made this change within myself. I no longer call things problems. I call them things I consider problems, or things I call problems. And it just gives me that little bit of space between, as soon as we judge something, characterize it as an issue, it does something to us, and it does something to our level of anxiety or fear towards it. So now I'm calling it something that I consider a problem, because it just gives me that extra minute to think back, like, okay, is this genuinely a problem? Sometimes it is. Anyways, figured I'd just share that here. But I am ready for my next question, please, to the lovely folks in the back. Awesome. All right. Yuka M asks, I wonder if I made the right decision to send my daughter to Australia for studies. Her main goal is not only study to settle there. Okay, I wonder if I made the right decision to send my daughter to Australia for studies. Her main goal is not only study to settle there. Do you see her settling her there? Okay, let's take a look at that. So, do we see her settling there? And just what the cards have to say surrounding the decision that you made to send her there. Decision to send her there. Okay, and then do I see her settling there? I don't see her settling there. No, I don't. But I want to first go ahead. She says, sorry what I typed. I just get excited. No problem at all. So I want to start with the first part of your question about you making the decision. And I feel like tapping into how you're feeling about this decision is, there's almost like, it's very hard. I feel upset. I feel disappointed. I feel maybe a bit lonely. I feel really unsure within myself of having made this decision. My heart is just a little bit sunk. But I want to show you, though, the card that came up for that being the correct decision. This is a Six of Swords. You can literally see someone being on a boat. So if Australia is overseas to you, we're international here. I don't know where you're from. But if it is something that's overseas, it's literally like putting somebody on a boat to kind of follow that. Not necessarily on a boat. She could have flown. She says yes. On the boat to kind of follow that North Star, follow that brighter light. So I really think you did the right thing in sending her there. I genuinely do. And I'm not trying to just say that to deal with the difficult emotions that you are experiencing. I genuinely think that was the right move for her. In terms of, is she going to settle here, though? I got 3 cards all in reverse. To me, it's showing like she's going to get exactly what she needs from this. but I don't see it being a long term, that being kind of the end of her line. So I do hope that that's helpful, my dear. Thank you so much for your question. I do really appreciate it. And everybody, yes, so wherever you're listening to us here, you can hop on over to YouTube at My Psychic Connection, and you can find where you can type in your question in case you're just listening on audio. And also, she says, oh, okay. So if you're ever, just watching this and I'm not live, or perhaps you're thinking some point after this live ends, I would really like to have a reading. I would like to, reach out to a psychic one-on-one. You can go to mypsychicconnection.com, and everybody that's on the shows has profiles there, and you can reach out to us for personal readings as well. So with that, do I have another question, please? All right, Ari. Ari says, when will I become a mom? Okay, Ari. So as I kind of mentioned there, I don't do things in the realm of birth predictions. I don't do death predictions in the way I don't do birth predictions. But what I am happy to look into for is just any information or guidance for you surrounding navigating this journey. So I do hope that that can be helpful. So let's kind of take a look at the journey of becoming a mother for you. Okay. All right, my dear. So to me, the first thing I'm picking up here is that this is not a question you thought to ask tonight. To me, it seems like you've perhaps even been trying for a while. It's like you've known that this is something you've wanted. We're committed to this decision in my life, and I haven't been able to make it happen yet. So if you've been trying for a while, whether physically trying or you've just really made this decision and you're just kind of waiting for that moment to happen, that's kind of how I'm picking it up now. To me, it seems like where you're at the moment is you're looking at it very pragmatically in terms of what steps need to be taken to overcome any challenges that you've had leading up to now in terms of becoming a mother. To me, what I want to say is very seriously, don't lose hope. In case that's something that's at all on your mind. To me, it looks like there's going to be some steps that you need to take, people you need to reach out to. I feel like there's a missing piece of the puzzle in terms of getting this off the ground for you, but I want to say it's definitely not out of the realm of the possibility for something you can have in this lifetime. So if, reach out to the right people, kind of get any information that you can, take your right supplements. To me, I want to say to you, gather more information about your current situation. And I do end up seeing this taking place for you. So thank you very much for your question. I hope that that can be helpful for you. And I do wish you all the best. Yes. Okay. More emojis. How about everybody shows me some wonderful emojis? Oh, I just love it. Oh, thank you, Shakti. Thank you, everybody who's popping some beautiful things into the chat. I am seeing Ari says, thank you so much. You were very, very welcome. So yeah, thank you for pop. Look at these hearts. We got butterflies. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kelly, Ari, Karina, everybody, for your beautiful emoji energy that is floating into this this little chat box. I'm gonna say inbox, not a chat box, not an inbox. My Christmas brain is coming in here, folks. I was on the hot chocolate before my show. Don't tell nobody. Anyways, I am ready for my next question, please, to the lovely folks in the back. Awesome. They're so good. Look how quick this pops up. Real professionals. I love it. Okay. This is for Haley Townstead. Hi, Haley. Haley says, hello, is Arab serious about me, meaning wanting to be in a relationship with me down the line? I do not know him yet via in person, but I met him online through a game. Thank you. This is how you ask a question. Thank you very much, Haley, for this. I've got context. I've got a specific question. I know who we're talking about. Beautifully asked question, Haley. Thank you so much. So let's see. I want to get his level of seriousness. Take a look at if he's interested in a relationship with you, and just kind of see what the cards have to say surrounding that. So how serious is Arab about Haley? Okay. And then let's kind of see if he's interested in a relationship or something more serious with you down the line. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I actually think he is fairly serious about you. But I want to say the way he's coming across, and it's quite interesting that you said you met him online through a game, because the first card that I have here is the Three of Pentacles, and I've got like these children together that are making making a snowman, like they're, you know, doing this outdoor game together. And the other card I have here is the Ten of Pentacles. So to me, even that progression of going 3 to 10 in the suit of things that we invest our time into, to me, it's saying that he is serious, but it might be coming across flirtatious, fun. I'm going to say like maybe immature, but in like the nicest little way, like not being sillily immature, but like it might be hard to kind of read that he's actually interested by the way that he communicates. Is he interested in, you know, a relationship farther down the line? So I want to say yes, but I feel like there's something, and I don't know if it's a level of culture or a level of what you both are looking for in a long-term end of the line sense, because the cards I have here, they've got the Eight of Coins upright and I've got the Temperance card upright, and both of those are saying like, yeah, he's interested in making this work. He would be interested in making the trip, or, you know, meeting you in person. But the other card here I have is the Hierophant in reverse. So to me, it's saying there's certainly potential for a genuine actual relationship here. But this Hierophant reverse can be like either you have different opinions on marriage or different opinions on something that you both hold as a deeper core value. So I do want to bring that up earlier on, but I genuinely do think he's quite interested in you. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my dear. Thank you so much for your beautifully worded question. That was such a ray of sunshine. And I'm going to just go ahead and spend a couple seconds here explaining why it makes a difference that we have specific questions and that I know the context. So here's the example I want to pass to everyone. If someone says to me, the only question I have is, will I get the job? And I lay some cards. I got something that looks like the Tower. I've got something that looks like the Five of Wands, where there's chaos going on here. There's danger. I don't know, maybe the Knight of Swords. There's, you know, more chaos and people rushing into stuff. And I see all that energy on my table. I don't know necessarily what I would say. It's hard to say when I'm not connecting to an actual person. But to me, you know, just talking about that energy, it seems chaotic and challenging and difficult. So what if this person then said, you know, I'm applying to be a firefighter? There's the job. There's the job right there, right? We see very clearly illustrated. It taps into the energy of what we are talking about. So that's why context is so important. If you're telling me you want to be a librarian, and I'm getting these loud, obnoxious cards, that doesn't really fit. So in case no one has ever like explained that at any other point, why exactly it is that we need a bit of context, it's because the cards speak so much more clearly when we know what we're talking about. And especially in these, you know, in this format where the questions are, you know, we've got shorter readings going on here. Anyway, I could go into that a little bit more, but very beautifully worded question. So thank you so much for that. Also, guys, we're doing a donation to charity as well. We do every month. So, you know, be sure to, just know that when you do donate to the show, $1 from every donation is going to be donated to St. Jude's for this month. So who do we have, please, for my next question? Stacy. Hello, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining us. Stacy asks, would I have good luck in Florida on Tuesday the 20th next week? Okay. I like it. So will you have good luck in Florida on Tuesday the 20th next week? Let's see what it looks like here. Will Stacy have good luck in Florida on Tuesday the 20th next week? All right, my dear. Interestingly enough, I'm getting a yes. I'm getting a sense that you will. And I don't know if you're going to meet. I've got two different male energy here. So I don't know if you're going to meet someone, if this is a business work related thing. If you're trying to bring two people together, or you're trying to, I feel like this might be a fairly busy kind of a trip where you're saying if you're going to have good luck. One thing I want to say is what you are planning to accomplish, even though it might look like a lot to do, to me that looks like that's going well, and I would say luck is on your side in that sense. The only card I'm getting of hesitation here is it's in the space of, I don't know if this is like, she says, I'm going to meet my boyfriend. Okay, lovely. Make sure, your arrival time is very well communicated, because what the thing I'm picking up is as the pinch point or the challenge here is it's like a miscommunication between people who are, trying to be kind and nice to one another. I've got the Six of Cups here in reverse, kind of in the center of these two upright kings, and then the Star card as well. So I think the visit's going to go well. I would say that luck is on your side, but do what you can to make sure everybody's on the same page to ensure a smooth visit. So that's what I'm getting for you, my dear. See, I was so close. I was so close on that one, but I ended up getting that bell. I love the bell. The bell is the only thing keeping me from going off the deep end a lot of the time. All right. Yeah, excellent question. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm ready for my next question. I'm just having a blast over here. Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra. Cassandra was putting in some wonderful emojis, so I appreciate that, my dear. Cassandra asks, is 2023 going to be a good year for me and my family? All right. So that is a big question, my dear, but let's see what I can get out for you in the next 2 minutes. Take a quick peek at the next year for you and your family. Okay, what the year will hold for you. Okay, and for your family. Okay. So, my dear, and let me know how this sounds, if this sounds quite accurate for you. But to me, it looks like if this year was a bit of a challenge, I'm seeing something in the space of interpersonal conflict, even maybe challenges with, this can be like getting people physically on the same page, or even just getting people together, getting people, things in the right moving parts. I don't know where I'm going with that. But to me, it just looks like perhaps the later part of this year has been a little bit challenging for you, potentially with why we're asking this question. In terms of the next year, I want to say it definitely has a lot of potential for you and your family to turn things around, if those words make sense. And that came through very specifically for those words, to turn things around, much to the effect of like, what was is not going to be what will be, kind of a thing. I want to bring attention to, though, the habits surrounding your, I'm just kind of looking at this high level within your family, what all of you are choosing to kind of do on a day-to-day basis, and how your family unit operates. Because to me, it looks like we could make some shifts here that would just kind of help everybody, all things, move a little bit more smoothly. I do honestly think that the year has a lot of potential for you. Yes, that is what I'm seeing, my dear. So thank you very much for your question, and I do hope that that can be helpful. It is very exciting, guys. Like, what's everybody got going on for their, the thoughts of the new year coming in? We've got New Year's resolutions happening. I want to ask, what gift is everybody giving themselves this Christmas? And I'm not talking about buying anything. I'm talking about, this is a juicy topic, and I, won't go too far into it, but think about within yourself. Christmas is a good time for you to give yourself something, and New Year's is a really great time to solidify it into the world. What do you want to see for yourself in the next year? Are you going to give yourself the gift of standing up for yourself? Will you give yourself the gift of cutting people out of your space and out of your life that don't support you? Are you going to give yourself the gift of spending a bit more time for yourself, taking a bit more time? To me, that's what I like to do at Christmas time. I've got more patience. I have freedom and peace. Beautiful things coming in. Erica has self-discovery and love. Beautiful. Yes. So I really like this sort of time period. And there's some things going on astrologically where I'm thinking like January 11th is going to be a really good time to really solidify those resolutions. But it works for me if you write it down. Karina's giving herself love. That's wonderful. Writing something down, making something tangible and real. If you can sneak yourself away for a couple of minutes to give yourself that gift, and then put it into practice for the new year. Because I've been interested in what gifts I want to give myself this year in terms of mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Jocelyn says, I give myself more time for myself and keep my mouth shut and have peace in my life. I think that's really, really beautiful, Jocelyn. Excellent, excellent gift. Wonderful. And even, typing it into this chat here, you have taken something that was inside of you, that was, a thought to something in the non-physical space, and you've typed it in and you've put it onto the screen. So you've already done a portion of that gift giving. So anyways, that's a nice little thought. All right. We definitely got a few more questions rolling in here. And guys, tomorrow night we have got Squirrel and Friends. That's just the best show. Well, they're all good. I'm sorry. They are all great shows, but that show is especially a good time. So that's happening tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time for 2 hours. So come and join everybody. It's good. I'm not going to tell you what's going on, but you really should be there because this one is going to be wildly entertaining. So yes, we'll hope to see everybody there tomorrow. Shakti, hi Shakti, how are you? Shakti's been around the last couple of weeks and I love my recurring folks. Shakti says, hello love, hello. Shakti asks, why did Frances betray me after I helped her? Thank you so much. Ooh, I don't like the sounds of this. Okay, why did Frances betray Shakti after she helped her? Why did Frances betray Shakti after she helped her? Okay. The first thing I wanted to ask here, Shakti, is, was Frances aware of the help that you gave her, or was there some miscommunication surrounding that help was given? To that I want to say yes or no, depending on which part of what I want to say to that very specifically is she's aware of the help that you gave her. She's aware of the help that you gave her, and there's no disagreement there that you'd offered something to her. In terms of why she did it, this is a bit of a tricky one, because part of me is picking up on a combative nature that I want to say is rearing its head here, and it's maybe a surprise it hadn't previously. Maybe you've seen this tendency with her with someone else. To me, it feels like this is a bubbled up part of her that is how she is. Like, it's showing me more, it's more into the realm of like nature or how she conducts herself in a general sense. I also don't know, and I'm not reading into this anything medical wise, but to me, I just want to say there's perhaps something mentally there that's not quite so black and white with what's going on for her. She says, yes, I did sessions for her. She came over here. I never charged her, but a week later she hacked me and it caused me a lot of trouble in my life. Yeah. So that's just awful. I'm really sorry to hear that. And it feels intentional. Like, this energy feels so I mean, I am so sorry that happened to you, and I hope that that's not the case going forward. I do really wish you all the best, and thank you so much for your question. This brings me to something quite interesting that I'll say was presented to me after I started doing questions surrounding why people do the things that they do, the motivations people have. And I learned something very quickly. If you are approaching a topic with a rational framework, as though, she says, thank you, darling, you're very welcome. And this may apply to your situation, but even just in a general sense, if I'm trying to understand why people do the things that they do, and the answer I'm looking for is something that will make rational sense to me, not everything operates in the realm of making rational sense. Not everything can be understood in a way that makes sense at all. At all. And I just find it kind of interesting when we start looking into this. If I'm trying to understand deeper motivations for things, some things are almost beyond explanation because we're tapping into things like how people are, whether it's an expression of something that's happened to them, whether there's something that they were plotting a long time ago. Like there's things like that where it's like if I pick up on that, we have a narrative for why someone did what they did. But sometimes you can't fix crazy. You can't fix stupid. Like I'm sorry, like sometimes that's genuinely just the case. So Shakti says, yes, very true. And that's not me here just sitting here judging people, but it's like I'm trying to understand a perspective that is almost ununderstandable, shall we say. Guys, we are just cruising through the night here, and thank you so much for joining us on My Psychic Connection. It makes my day, and it really brings a lot of joy to my heart that everyone chose to spend their Thursday evening with me here on December 15th. So, yes, I'm ready for my next question, please. Audrey, hello, Audrey. How you doing, girl? Audrey says, will I ever get over my fear of driving? Haven't been on the freeway in 8 years. Oh my gosh, girl. Okay, let's take a look at this. So your fear of driving, how do we see, do we see that sort of resolving itself and how that looks for Audrey and her fear of driving? Okay. Interestingly enough, and I'll say I don't get this all the time when I'm looking at fears resolving themselves, but this is quite interesting because where I'm seeing kind of you at the moment, I got the Eight of Swords in the upright position surrounding this fear. So to me, it's you've already said too, it's been 8 years since you've been on the freeway. It feels trapped, consuming, and it just feels like there's very little room for this to change on its own. Like we're talking about a very deeply seated, deeply rooted fear that was caused by, shall we just say, a very real happening in your life. To me, it doesn't seem like this isn't attached to a particular event. But what I do want to say here, so look at this. So I kind of asked, is this likely to resolve sort of on its own? I've got the Judgment card upright and the Six of Swords, both in the upright position. She says, yes, I don't know what to do. I'll pass out. So I want to say, certainly don't push yourself a single second before you are ready to do this. But what I want to say is I do actually see this being something that you can work through and work past. And it kind of feels like either a baby step energy or just working your way quite up to this. And I'm going to say as well, it's not something we're going to do alone. I don't know if you'd be interested in either. It doesn't have to be a driving instructor, but it could be someone who's just got more experience or someone who's an authoritative figure to you and a calming figure to you. She says, I'm nowhere near ready, can barely go through town. That's fine. Eight of Swords. I completely get you. But what I'm wanting to do here is to see the probability and the likelihood that this fear will be able to resolve itself. And what I do want to say to you is that, yes, I can see this being something that you overcome with the help of people that you trust. So thank you so much, my dear, for your question. And I really wish you all the best. Fears are a very interesting thing for us to dive into about ourselves, because my God, do they have an impact on how we, how we relate to the world, the things that we can accomplish, what we do. There's that saying, like, how do you get from point A to point B? She says, okay, thanks. You're very welcome, my dear. Sorry. How we get from point A to point B. And it depends where our focus is, right? If we're sitting at point A and we're moving to point B, if we think of that as a want or a desire, we're kind of looking at point B and we can sort of move in a nice straight line towards it. If, on the other hand, we're at point A, we're moving to point B, and there's something around point A that we're really afraid of, or something that is, I would say, causing a push as opposed to a directed focus movement from one point to another, we're almost kind of walking backwards, right? Like you could imagine you're sitting there staring at point A, pushing yourself away from it. Like, I don't want A, I don't want A. Who knows if you're going to end up in B? You could end up anywhere else. So it's just an interesting thing for us to think about how we move through life. You know, where really is our focus in certain situations? Like, is there a way we can focus on the thing that we want quite specifically, as opposed to just pushing away from any particular point? Again, that's sort of more in the realm of goal setting, as opposed to working past or through fears, because fears are a lot deeper seated, especially when they arise from challenging things that happen to us in this lifetime. So anyway, I'm ready for my next question, please. Nicole, hi Nicole. Oh, it's so wonderful to see you, my dear. Oh, this is so nice. Nicole says, hi Cassidy, how will the relationship between me and my younger daughter develop? Okay, how will the relationship between Nicole and her younger daughter develop? Oh my God, cards flying everywhere for you, my dear. Let's take a look at what we see. The relationship developing between Nicole and her younger daughter. Let's take a look. Okay. Aw. All right, my dear. So the first thing I'm kind of picking up at the moment, and I don't know if you're asking about this particularly because there's a challenge that exists between you and her that maybe wasn't there, or I would say you relate to her on a different level than any of your other children. And to me, at this particular moment in time, maybe not the way that you see things is quite different from the way that she sees things. And I'm not picking up necessarily a combative nature or anything like that, where, you know, there's a difficulty or a challenge that exists in this connection. But at the moment, it just seems like we're kind of maybe just missing the mark on each other. But what I do want to say, though, is I see this relationship developing beautifully. Wow. First card I have here is the 3 of Coins upright. The second card I have is the 2 of Cups, which is great. So what I want to say is I feel like the years that she's experiencing right now seem to be the ones that are going to be the most straining or challenging in the connection between you two. With that 3 of Coins, and I don't know if there's some level of project that you guys can work on together, but trying to meet her where she's at with her desires and the things that she likes to get her hands dirty with, whether she's a rather crafty person or a more quiet person. I haven't looked into that too much, but just looking in the way that this relationship develops, I feel like I'll say like there's going to be a common interest that really brings you two together. So that's really beautiful. Thank you so much for your question, Nicole. Oh, I love family-related questions. I love all related questions, actually. I don't discriminate. They're all good. All wonderful questions. So thank you so much. She says, oh, thank you so much. You are absolutely so very welcome, my dear. I really appreciate all of the support. And yes, so guys, tomorrow, Squirrel and Friends coming on at 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's going to be a blast. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil nothing, but it's going to be a really, really good time. So tune into that if you certainly can. We are into the last couple minutes of the show here. So yeah, please make sure you're subscribed to our channel here at My Psychic Connection on YouTube. And you can find all of the readers there at www.mypsychicconnection.com. Yeah, cool. I think I've got time for another question or two here. So guys, we have another donation. Thank you so much. We have a donation for a 3-minute reading. Oh, thanks, guys. Mary, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for your question and for your donation to support the community. It really, really helps us out and gives us a big old smile. So thank you so much, Mary. I do really appreciate it. Do we have Mary's question? And Mary, yes, as I had kind of mentioned there before, if you can ask, please, a specific question, and with a little bit of context is certainly helpful. So please let me know what you'd like me to dive into here for your 3-minute reading. All right, so we are working on that. I hope that everybody had a wonderful Thursday, and we're getting ready for the holiday season upon us. I know I keep hearing some people their last day of work is today or tomorrow, and it's kind of interesting the time that people get to have off over the break. Some people I even know that are just like working all the way and straight through. So to whatever situation yours looks like, I hope that the next couple of weeks serve you certainly well, because after our show tomorrow night, we will be taking a bit of a break over the holidays, returning in first week of January. So, but come to our show tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. So Mary, do you have a question, my dear? We've got your donation, so if you can please give me your question. I definitely need a question from you. You don't want me to start singing. Where are you, Mary? And while we are waiting for Mary's question, just a massive round of applause to everybody that's working in the back. It takes a wonderful team of wonderful people to keep these shows going. So thank you guys for all of your amazing work back there. It is the best. So Mary, do you have your question, my dear? We are heading towards the end of the show. Mary says, can't ask for a friend, right? In terms of like the question that you're asking? Like, do you yourself, my dear, have a question that you would like me to answer? I just need a specific question from you. So whatever it is that you want me to ask, go ahead and type it in. Specific question with a little bit of context, and we can get slinging some cards for you. I'm not sure if this is the right Mary. Sorry, guys. We might be having a moment of technical things going on. But Mary, if you are there, my dear, I need your question. All right. Mary asks, how many children will I have? Yes, my dear. So like I said, I definitely don't dabble in the prediction of birth or death. But what I'm happy to do for you is similar to kind of the question that I had earlier surrounding, advice or information for you navigating having children in the future. So we're going to start with that. And if there's anything more specific you'd like me to know, please go ahead and type it in and I will dive into that for you. So let's take a look at Mary. Hang on. All right. So information for Mary surrounding having children. Okay, so Mary, I don't know if this is a bit of a touchy subject for you. Because to me, I'm picking up a lot of anxiety surrounding this issue, a lot of challenge in the past surrounding this issue. It just seems to me like I want to ask you if this is really something that you want in your life. To me, I'm trying to look into this, and this almost seems like a closed off topic. It feels quite detached, to be honest with you. So is this something, and I don't, to me, I'm almost getting the sense like this is maybe not something that you're really wanting, or it's something that if it is something that you're really wanting, I'm picking up a very hard time surrounding making this happen. Yeah, she says I do. So okay, so this, if this is really something that you're wanting, just know that I can really pick up on the struggle surrounding this situation for you in your life right now. I'm having a really hard time picking up on the future of this. She says it's okay. She says, it's okay, I know what to do. Okay, that is good, my dear. I do wish you all the best with that. Because yeah, I mean, it's a very tricky situation, and my heart really goes out to you. So I appreciate your donation and thank you for being here. So everybody, we have reached the end of the night, and again, thank you so much for being here and for supporting the show. I really appreciate it. You can find us tomorrow night, Squirrel and Friends, at 8 p.m. So come and join that show. It's going to be amazing. And until then, I'm wishing everyone a most wonderful evening. I am Cassidy the Cardslinger, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.
I wish to stay.